How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Snapshot 14W05A. This is one of the 1.8 snapshots, and let's go ahead and take a look at the changes in this week's snapshot. So first of all, the debug menu has now changed. There is now a gray background to the text of the debug menu, and that's useful because now you can actually see what it says. Before it was a little difficult to read, so they added that in. And also, there is a new coordinate system. You'll see it shows where your feet are in the X, Y, and Z coordinates, and there's actually no separate X, Y, and Z coordinates anymore. You have to actually look at just where your feet are, and that will tell you. There's also a new block this week only available in creative mode, and that is the barrier block seen here. And the command to give yourself the barrier block is right there, and you can place it down. You can place stuff on top of it, other blocks or like redstone and things like that. It acts as a solid block, so it does transmit like redstone signals just like any other block. So there's one here, for instance. If we lead redstone directly into it and we turn this on, you'll see the redstone turns on the lamp. So it's going to be useful for defining the edges of maps and also for redstone contraptions in custom maps. Also new this week, powered activator rails will now cause entities to dismount minecarts. So I'll just show you that here. Runs over the activator rail there, and he dismounts. And this will also work for yourself, so you'll dismount whenever you run over an activator rail. This week there's also been some changes to how books are copied. So here I have an original storybook, and if I put that in the crafting table, I can copy that using another book and quill easily, and I get a copy of the original, and you retain the original item. Now, if you have the original book here, like I do, you can make an infinite number of copies of the original book. The same thing holds true for the copy of the original. You can make a basically a copy of the copy here, just like so. But if you have a copy of a copy, you cannot make a copy of this copy. So that's going to help people who write books in Minecraft to limit the distribution of their books. So they can control who has one and who doesn't if they control the original and the copy of the original. So that's pretty interesting, and also this can be used as a form of in-game currency because you can control the supply of books pretty easily. And these new books are also useful because they can be used as keys now in like a locking mechanism. So you could have the copy of a copy be a key so that you could have a copy, give a copy to your friends, but they wouldn't be able to give a copy to someone you didn't want them to. And there's also a new game mode this week, which is the Spectator Gamemode. So we'll just go ahead and type in Game Mode 3, and you'll see we are now invisible completely. See an outline of where you're at though, a little bit. But you can go ahead and go on through the terrain and everything. You have no clip, which means you don't interact with blocks at all, or things like arrows and other entities. Yeah, you can fly around in this mode and basically observe what's going on around you. And I think you can also take the perspective of entities here. So I'm looking out of the sheep's eyes now. Shift click to get out of that, and I can come over here and do, like the villager. Just click on him and take his perspective. And when he moves, my perspective will move. So we'll see if we can get him to move here. And we'll take a look at some other animals as well. Pig looks pretty normal, pretty straightforward. You see he's moving here. Alright. And let's see if we can find some other entities that we can take the view of. So if we take the perspective of a creeper here, we'll click on him, and we get a rather pixelated green view of the world. Alright, we'll take a look at the spider now. The spider is a little bit different since it has multiple eyes. You see we can see a couple different screens here. Looks like about 3 different screens, so kind of a unique viewpoint from the spider's view. Alright, Enderman, let's try this. See, Endermen see sort of like a negative color. So that's pretty interesting. You can actually see it when they teleport too, which is pretty cool. Also new this week, slimes can now swim in water, so they're a little bit more mobile in that regard. So that's all the changes I could find in this week's snapshot, guys. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Cupfan. Goodbye.